Right. Let's see here. Ooh. How is this going to turn out? Well, testing audio so far. Oh, seems to be working. Okay, give it a few minutes and I'm going to get started. Actually, yeah, let me get a drink. All right. That was the coconut sparkling water. Okay. I think I'm good to go. Yeah. Let's do this. Well, hello there. Welcome to episode 27 of the Gundam Explained podcast. I'm your host, Adam Blue. And I'm doing this live. It's the first time I'm doing this live. I thought it would be fun and easier on me so I don't have to throw this in the editor and edit it. Although then I can't add the name at the bottom, but I am saying Adam Blue. So I guess you should get it, right? Yeah, so yeah. If you have any questions about my name, just let me know. But I'm pretty sure if you hear me say it's Adam Blue, I don't need that title card. But anyway, okay, it's distracting. I have this on another screen, but I wanted to be able to see the chat. It's okay. Well, cool. Glad I'm doing this live. Thanks for joining. I guess the plan will be to do this live on Thursdays if this works out. This just really minimizes my editing time. But yeah, if you haven't, please subscribe to the channel. Please give this video a like. Subscribe on any audio platform that has a podcast thingy, like Apple, Spotify, all that. Yeah, there's a giveaway going on, so a link in the description for the giveaway. And speaking of that, I was having to put in the text I use in my videos, like the defaults. And when I was looking at my latest videos, it wasn't showing the defaults in there. So at some point that turned off. So that whole time when I was like, hey, check the link in the description. Yeah. Or that could just be a bug, or really that was a fail, one or the other. But yeah, let's kind of get started with what we're going to talk about. So we're going to talk about a few interesting things today. One, we're going to talk about Milpo Sclint. Am I even saying that? Hey, Gundam names are weird to begin with. I think this is a made-up one, Milpo Sclint. That's the new thing that's all the rage on Gundam Twitter, and we'll talk about that here in a second. I also wanted to talk about Amuro vs. Char in terms of their mobile suits in the UC timeline during their main conflict, and what, in our Discord, which, again, another link in the description, hopefully now, someone brought up going over pilots and their mobile suits, and I think that's a great idea to do as a series of videos. And I wanted to kind of get some of the easy ones out of the way, like Amuro and Char. So I think in a little bit, we'll kind of talk about the mobile suits they have. I guess maybe more of the animes and not from the manga or the novel, because I know there's a lot others. But I'm really curious from the different MS they use, how much of it is the pilot themselves and how much of it is the mobile suit itself. I think that's kind of an interesting discussion. Also interesting, if you think about it, even though we're going to get to this anyway, during the original Mobile Suit Gundam during the 1 Year War, how many different mobile suits Char had to use, and Amuro was good with his one, even though he did use a gun cannon there for a little bit. What else are we going to be talking about? And then some cool little memes I found on Reddit, a bit of news on some gunpla kits. So, yeah, I guess, we'll go ahead and get started. What I got this past week. So, a bunch of pre-orders came in, and these, I've already shot most of the videos for them. One is the RX-78. Wait, yeah. No, it's a weird, the RX-78F00. Oh, here we go. This doesn't do autofocus. So this is a Robot Spirits. It's not the Gunpla. And this is very nice. And, you can get it domestically, like at Big Bad Toy Store. This is based off of the life-size one they have at Yokohama. So anyway, you can get it at Big Bad Toy Store, but I actually imported it from Japan through a Japanese retailer that ships internationally, and it came out cheaper. So to think about it, this guy would be relatively low cost in Japan if you were wanting to pick up an action figure. And it feels, with the plastic, it kind of feels like that. It has some minimal accessories, but there's not really much more. But this is just a solid figure, and I'll make sure I do that in a review. Another one I got that's super awesome is the GM Quell. This is kind of a fan favorite. This is a Titans developed mobile suit. I think we saw it at the end of Stardust Memory, and I can't remember if it was this or some other suits they added in the Zeta movie trilogy after the fact. But what's cool about that is it came with this little truck bed that you can put them on. And I think that's just an awesome accessory, especially for the price. It wasn't too much more than the price of a regular mobile suit or Robot Spirits Gundam. In fact, that was supposed to come out around August or September of last year, and I didn't really get it until, just this past week. So that could be part of the shipping issues that were going on. I remember one showed up on Mercari back in like August or September, and it was going for $80, which is a decent price. But I was like, man, I've already got it pre-ordered. I can wait. But I had to wait a long time. The other one is the new and bitter Zaku 2. So you can't have enough Zaku 2s, right? I mean, I could just army build this for days. So I'm glad that they released them based on specific variations. Now, what's cool about this is it comes with some awesome effect pieces. It's this sort of smoke effect from the jets, leaving kind of the, I guess it would be like the ground, earth-based ground atmosphere type effect. And it does have some articulation. There's some ball joints. You can kind of take them apart as well. And it has connector pieces for the stands. This is just an awesome piece to add on. And I'll have a review of that up as well. So, I think that's really it for Gundam related stuff I got in the past week. Basically just a bunch of pre-orders that came in. So that worked out. And, shout out to Mandrake, a website where you can order things from Japan, and the shipping is not always too much. And even if it is, it might come out cheaper than buying it domestically, like at Big Bad Toy Store. But it's funny how sometimes I can get something at Big Bad Toy Store just as at a good price. I can't really find it anywhere else. For instance, the cost signature Mark II that came with the G Defensor. Hard to find at a decent price. They had a sale on it. Still pricey, but glad I got it. So let's move into some things. And you know what? Actually, I didn't forget, or did I forget? There's something I also wanted to do. Let me load that up real quick. See, this is what happens when you do it live. Although when I do my videos, I'm actually doing, and when I do the podcast, I do it like it's live anyway. I don't normally edit. I guess there's been a time or two in the past where I've edited, but not too much. Okay. So there's some GBO2 news that I want to get to. And let's see. Yeah, I can close this. Let me change the view here real quick for those that are watching. Pretty sure it's this one. Yeah, there we go. That's cool. Oh, yeah. And I'm being reminded right now, if you ever want to send any comments or questions to be read on the podcast, you can do so at gunpla@gmail.com. But I also want to reiterate how awesome the Discord is and how lately it's been awesome. We've had members join in the past few weeks that have just added to the awesomeness there. People that are really into lore, really into canon, which I'm into canon, even into the gaming. And so we've been doing a lot of gaming. Well, not a lot, but I can see a lot of gaming in the future. We had just a few nights ago, 4 of us jumped on Gundam Battle Operation 2. That was a lot of fun, and I have a video of that I want to show. I got completely decimated by our champion Ace Will. I've played with him previously. He's, even though I think I'm decent at it in terms of I understand what needs to happen, I don't always execute so well, but he's got so many great tips. And then when we were playing, since we were using the party chat to talk, I can hear him. He was on the other team giving commands, and it's like, okay, this guy knows what he's doing. We're about to get destroyed. And sure enough, that happened. And then I requested a certain cost room. And when we did that, I was able to then choose the mobile suit I wanted to use, and I was able to get the upper hand. Well, it makes me think just sometimes if you have the right mobile suit, you can do pretty good. So that makes you wonder, is it the pilot? Is it the mobile suit? Let's see. So on Gundam Battle Operation 2, I thought was interesting. They have this new, the supply drop that started this week, is the White Rider and Black Rider. And if I'm not mistaken, aren't these the ones from Code Fairy? And don't you just get them in Code Fairy, or are they a different version from Code Fairy? You know what? I'm not too sure. Let me do I should have researched this, but wait, where's my Control F? Let's see. Has appeared, yeah, in Code Fairy and might be different in game. Huh. Okay. So I bet it's tuned for the purpose of using it, when playing online with others in the PvP. So anyway, just pretty cool that that's added. Not super excited about it, but the more new banners we get, the closer I am to getting, during the gacha, the Hazel. The Hazel is the one I really want. I didn't get it, and I spent all my coins on that. But hopefully we'll get it soon. But I got to say, it's really fun when you have a group of people to play with, because you can just create your own private room and play. Even 2v2, you can almost, and that's how we were playing. When you're playing 2v2, and actually, let me just pull that up. This is our game from the other day. Actually, I'll have to jump forward. When you're playing 2v2, it's almost like you can sort of plan out how the battle goes pretty quickly in terms of where you're pushing the enemy. When one mobile suit is killed, how many hit points are left on the other team member, and then because it's like you want to be able to spawn at the same time, meet up at the same time. But yeah, it's a little weird, and sometimes it's just it almost seems like it matters, what mobile suit you have, or does it really? I really want to find that out, so I really want to play more. It's fun. So this one, it was like a 300 or 350 cost, I forget, and I was using a Dom that I don't use too much, but I just like the maneuverability of it. This match I got totally destroyed. It was myself, Clown, Taco, and Will. Just a lot of fun to be able to play this with a group of people. Although, maybe someone knows this and we've missed it, but I would like a way to create a room or a party that can then jump into the matchmaking games. So then if there are 4 of us, we can play a game where we're, against another team, and they just, fill in the empty spots. This is a match I was using the Aqua GM because even though it's a land map, I just like the Aqua. I like the the different weapons it has. Again, I don't know if it's because it's just easy to use or it just fits my play style, like doing that trick shot real quick where if you aim it right, that harpoon can do some good damage and stagger potentially. Obviously, I wasn't paying attention to when they snuck up on me. But then when I requested a higher cost, yeah, then I'm in my Rigazi custom, and it's like you own at that point. Like, at least to me, I'm curious for others out there. Is it that the Rigazi is just easy to use, or is this just my style? And we were able to own that one, I think, just because I was able to stagger. Although my teammate was doing a great job, actually, with support. One time on the roof doing some sniping. So I don't want to say it was all me, to be honest. No, that was a lot of fun. So, yeah, anyone that's interested, jump in our Discord. We have a video game channel where we're just listing our PSNs, and then we kind of plan when to group up the game. It really is a lot of fun. All right, moving on. I want to show this real quick. So there's another member of a Discord, and he hasn't been around lately. His name is Robert. He's been actually a long time supporter of the channel, and he does a lot of fan art and artwork. And he did this, which I think is really well done, kind of his own design of a mobile suit of some sort. Now, I don't know if this is supposed to be related to Gundam or just his own design, and I think he even had a name for it, the MAX NZP. Now, this could be related to his fan fiction, which is in the Discord. There's a fan fiction channel, and we have a bunch of members that have uploaded their own fan fiction. And yeah, so you might want to check that out. But he's got this version, and then another one, and one's supposed to be the advanced version. Now, it's kind of hard to see. I think he was taking pictures with his camera to send to me. Like, again, I don't think he at the moment has access to his computer to then jump into Discord. So he just wanted to send this to me to share on the podcast. So really cool stuff. Robert has made a lot of drawings of fan art. He sent me a bunch. I plan to cover it soon. It was just a little overwhelming to get that much artwork from him, and I haven't really had time to properly go through it, but I will soon. But if anyone else has any artwork they want to share, please either email me at gundamexplain@gmail.com or post it in the Discord. Yeah, either way would be cool. Let me adjust this just a second. Let's see. You know what? That's kind of weird. Sorry, I'm seeing this shadow, but it doesn't really matter. Okay, next up, I saw this comic, and it just seems simple. But just knowing the relationship between Char and Amuro, it just made me laugh. It's this, Amuro, I've had enough. I must change the world. And then Amuro's like, for the better? And then Char's just, and then Amuro pulls out a gun and he's like, answer me, Char. And I think that's hilarious. I don't know. Although that's really Quattro. I'm sorry. That's not Char, that's Quattro. I get it. He's wearing the Ayug, or is that Garaba? And so really this is Zeta timeline. As soon as I said Char, it's Quattro. Anyway, I thought that was hilarious. I love Reddit for that stuff. Next up, so this is cool because I've been waiting to hear more information about this, but so they have that new Gundam design that has kind of the classic colors. But also, even though it's a new Gundam and we're used to its fin funnel system, this one's a little different, and I think they've kind of explained it. It's like a long-range fin funnel, kind of a single one. And I guess the idea is when they were designing this life-size Gundam, one, I don't know why they switched the colors. Maybe there's more canon information about that, but I guess the main thing is that it, I'm sure it would have been hard to design it with all the fin funnels connected. Fin funnel or fins. And I'm always getting that part wrong. But with his new type fin system, this kind of helps it, like, I guess for a life-size Gundam, I guess help it just stand up. So I think some of the design was just really based on the functionality of really making something like this life-size. So I guess this is a render of real grade So that's pretty sick. I mean, I'm sure it's the real great new Gundam that most of us already have or know about, just with different colors and that kind of more simplified long range funnel system, fin funnel system. And then an entry grade, which is pretty cool. And I remember seeing, and I don't know if it's even come out yet. There's been that entry grade new Gundam that's coming out, so pretty cool to see that there. And then one of the little SD Gundams, which, funny enough, I'm not a fan of the SD Gundams, but I do have an SD new Gundam. So funny that they have that coming. And there's some behind shots right there. So yeah, thanks to Speedball Haro 9 for posting this. I'm sure this was posted on some official places, but a lot of times I'm finding my Gundam news through other people. And actually, to relate on that, Will posted on Discord the Kukuruzdoin's Island trailer. And even though that was the trailer from before, what was interesting about that is he posted it from the Gundam.info YouTube. So that's really cool because that means it's official. Even though it seemed like that was official anyway, it was nice that they posted it on their YouTube. So pretty cool there. I'm telling you, this for some reason this shadow is bugging me. It's like I got something on my face when I'm looking at the monitor. Why do I need to look at myself on the monitor? Well, this is my first live stream and I don't want to mess it up. Okay, here's something we're going to get into that's really interesting. So this has to do with Milpo Sclint, okay? So I'm kind of newly introduced to this Gundam Twitter, mainly for Gundam Explained, so I can, share things about my channel, but also kind of meet other people, which I have been able to talk with other Gundam fans on Twitter. It's actually been really cool. Some members from the Discord even have a Twitter. And this thing took off. I guess it was when they just took some art of a pilot in the background. Now, I actually don't know the full story because I just found this. I don't know if it's supposed to be this was just some random pilot that's not part of the rest of the original 0079, because I think that was the case in the novel, and so they just have this pilot drawn there. Or is that supposed to be Kai just drawn weird? Because I'm kind of seeing an Amuro kind of drawn weird, and that kind of happened with the early stuff where it wasn't too accurate on how it was drawn. Or was that supposed to be an Amuro that was drawn incorrectly? Yeah, I guess here he kind of is there, unless someone just added that in. Let's see. So generally speaking, this is baffling. Milpo Sklint shows up on this composite itself for this poster, but not in the original ED. I don't think it's a misprint as it has the Animec logo and all. So yeah, it must be some other character. Now, another thing I don't know is that the name, is that the real name of the character? Look at this. Someone even made a Spotify playlist, Milpo Sklint, My Beloved. Like, this guy is taken off. He needs his own movie as far as I'm concerned, with how popular he is. And then I guess just some other characters named Harry Batinsky. That's unfortunate. And Job John, which I love that name, Job John. That just seems like such a generic name. Or would that be Job John? Right? Wouldn't that be pronounced Job? I don't think I've met a Job in my lifetime. Anyway, if you go to UC Gundam, their Twitter, there's just so many memes about this Milpo Sklint, which I obviously have trouble saying that name. I mean, and that's why I'm curious, is this, was this name just made up, or was this really a name for a character that we don't see much? And I love this. This one's funny. Because I remember this part in Unicorn Gundam where it's, Bride's realizing he has to go talk to Benager, and he kind of is trusting Benager. And then he kind of looks at the picture of Amuro on the wall for a second, keeps walking, but then we see Milpo Sklint next to him. Someone added that in. That's hilarious. Okay. I think that's what really set me off on liking this, was all the hilarity around this meme. Yeah. So yeah, very cool. Yeah, check that out. UC Gundam. Wait, UC Gundam? mind's blown. You see, and then you see, like, it's pretty good. That is pretty good. I'm not even following them, but that has changed. Okay, so yeah, what I wanted to talk about next, and I don't think I even have anything visually prepared for that, so I'm just going to type in Amuro Ray, is I wanted to talk about the mobile suits that Amuro Ray used, but specifically having to deal with the anime and not like what's in the manga or the novels, because, you know, anime has its own canon, which I love talking about canon. And by the way, there's some heated debates going on in our Discord. So again, join that. But what I've come to realize recently, and I'm trying to get more confirmation on that, is it seems that the video games in the anime kind of share a continuity. I don't know how true that is, but that seems to be what's going on. You know, especially when something like with Code Fairy, how it is almost like an anime that you can just play it because there's the opening, there's the closing credits, there's even the animation that's within the gameplay, and there's different styles of animation. Like they have the actual cartoon, then they have more of like a cell shaded, and then they have when you're in battle, they have like, you know, the pilot portraits. They come in while they're on their mobile suits, and it's just a full-on high production value quality whatever Gundam game. So it could be that there's some things that are in the games that I'm missing, and I think I made a list somewhere. Yeah, let me open my other notes document here. Okay, so if we think about Amuro Ray, so he started with the RX-78-2 Gundam, and then in Mobile Suit Gundam, he actually piloted the RX-77 gun cannon. I think this is when Sayla went out in the RX-78-2, if I remember correctly, and then he wanted to go. I think it's because he didn't want to go battle or something like that. It was that time where, you know, he was feeling a lot from the stress of battling at his age. So Sayla went out, and then he wanted to go out and kind of help them out. And then he's in the MSK 008 DJ in Zeta, if I'm not mistaken. That's his main in there. And I forget if he piloted anything else in Zeta, actually. But then also the Rigazi 91. Yeah. So it's the RGZ 91 Rigazi, which is an awesome mobile suit. I think the idea was they took the Delta Plus, mass produced it. Although my favorite is the Rigazi Custom specifically, but Amuro didn't pilot that. And then there's the RX-93 New Gundam. Now, there's the High New Gundam, and that's very popular mobile suit that Amuro was in, but it's not really in an anime yet, and it might not be considering how Char's counterattack ended. But I'm curious what everyone thinks. Out of those mobile suits, are we able to determine if Amuro is just an amazing pilot and he can do whatever he wants, or how do I word that? He can achieve any goal that he needs to meet just by sheer will of his power as a new type also. And then we take Char Aznable. Oh, and I meant to add that, or is it the mobile suits themselves happen to help out in some way? For instance, you know, thinking back when he's in the Rigazi, he was even fighting Char in the Sazabi. And yeah, it almost doesn't seem like that is necessary. And it even seemed like, if you think about it, from Char's counterattack, Char kind of made sure Anaheim had access to the Psycho Frame technology to implement into the new Gundam, which because he was hoping that would like level him with Amuro, that they would be on the same level, which really I just think Amuro was already capable, a capable pilot against Char anyway. But we have Char Aznable, right? And he had first the MS-06S Zaku 2 Commander type, which is just a classic badass suit. But I think the Zaku 2s were quickly, outclassed when it came to production of not only within, would it be within Zeon? I guess once the Republic of, or the Principality of Zeon was dissolved and we had the remnants left, their mobile suits, yeah, it was a little different at that time because of that situation. And then we had Anaheim Electronics. Oh, you know what? Let's see. Oh, Robert is on. That's cool. Hey, there's a few people that have jumped in the chat. Well, thank you very much. That'd be cool to do kind of like a chat thing. And, Robert's just trying to let me know that in Japan, surname first in Japanese. And yeah, Robert's always quick to correct me. He has, I guess, Japanese ancestry, so he kind of holds that dear to him. But anyway, move on. Then we have the MS IGLOO commander type. We also had the Gelgoog commander type, right? And, those were transitioning suits that Char had during 0079. So, just think about that. Char had to use newer suits, whereas Amuro was able to really stick with the Gundam the whole time. Even though near the end he got it destroyed, he was able to fight against the MSN02 Zeong, which was insane. I mean, that was just a super unit, really. And that alone makes me think, Amuro is really the one that's powerful. Even if you think that, even though Sayla, I guess, was a part of some of the end battle, Char had Lala Soon, and he was trying to use her as well. So even in the situation where these two rivals had kind of backup, Amuro still came out on top. He was able to keep Sayla from dying. What does that say about Char? I guess that's hard for Char anyway, really, to have to deal with Sayla and Lala Soon being in that battle as well. Okay, and then, I understand in Zeta, we had Quattro, and he had the, oh my gosh, I can't believe I'm forgetting the Rick Diaz, there we go, and the Hayaku Shiki. And with those, I'm curious. Again, it seems like Char is always changing his mobile suits. I'm really curious then, like, at that point, there was some interesting things going on, the dynamics, because we had the kind of Neo Zeon that was occurring, when we had Hammond show up. But then, we had then the Titans. And so that was kind of a weird dynamic where Amuro was kind of siding with Char, Quattro. But then when we get into Char's counterattack, that's where the Sazabi is the main mobile suit that Char is using, whereas Amuro was using the Rigazi, and then he eventually got the new Gundam, which again was almost super powered by Char himself, so he could feel like he's at the same level as Amuro. But I'm curious, with all that information, who is really the better pilot? And again, I personally think it is Amuro. I really do. I even think what Amuro is standing for really is more of a it's almost like a desperation to save people. And while that may be the ideology that Char has, it's less of a desperation, more of a brute force to enact kind of a control, a power, over a group of people, being the Earth Federation or people of Earth. So anyway, that's my thoughts on that. Curious what you guys think. I'll have a poll up on my YouTube channel so we can kind of see who's the more interesting pilot, Amuro or Char? And probably based on that, their mobile suits, what makes them such a good pilot? Is it them being the pilot or their mobile suits? Anyway, I thought that would be an interesting discussion. Let's see. And then moving on, Robert, did you get to show artwork? No, Robert was there at the beginning of the stream. So, but this will be posted up as soon as I'm done. Okay, moving on real quick. So we're going to talk about the Zuda. This says EMS 10 Zuda, although from what we understand, it was developed from the EMS 04. I think it's interesting that the Gundam Wiki actually doesn't have a section for it. So interesting. The reason I want to jump into this is because it was one of the videos I actually recently did, and I didn't even talk about that one. I usually do that when I show off my at the beginning. It's like, hey, here's my latest videos. We had the episode 26 podcast. which I got to say I love the thumbnail because that for some reason that Hamankarn picture got me. What is happening to me? And then that $10 light up panel lined luminous Gundam. That one that I panel lined, I thought it would look good to have that detail. And then the demise of the Zuda, because I was looking at the third episode of MS IGLOO, because that kind of talks about the Zuda and kind of its last hurrah, actually, within helping Zeon. So let's look at this. The EMS-10 Zuda was a prototype mobile suit developed by the Principality of Zeon before the One-Year War. It appears in the OVA series Mobile Suit Gundam MS IGLOO. During the Principality of Zeon's race to develop a superior fighting machine, 4 prototype mobile suits were developed from different engineering companies. One of these was the Zimad's EMS-04 Zuda. And let's look at Zimad real quick. Where was that link at? Am I not seeing it? I guess I got to search for it, but isn't it just on the side there? I don't know. So Zimad, so they've done things like the GOG, the DOM. So they're no slouch when it comes to designing mobile suits. But I guess they were in a bidding war with Zeonic, and I guess Zeonic kind of won over for the mass production of the Zaku 2 over the Zuda. Even though the Zuda could have been a better suit, there was a problem with the Zuda and its thrusters, so when it reached a certain threshold, the suit would just fall apart. And that's all in the MS IGLOO episode, which I have a video review up on the channel. All right. It had a good power plant with unprecedented thrust and acceleration. It also adopted a prototype engine known as the Jupiter engine, which was based on the Zimad's prototype Mercury engine. However, the suit did have limits. If the engines were overexerted, the suit would overload and break apart. Zeonic Company used this information to outdo the Zuda with their well-known YMS-05 Zaku and successfully marketed the Zaku series. This, however, was not the end of the story. The Zuda was resurrected under the model number EMS-10 with some minor improvements and cosmetic differences. Its left shoulder was refitted with a movable shield that could be swung to the back. That's similar to the recently, I was over there, the Jesta that I built. And I've seen that with some other mobile suits recently. And I lost my place. The left shoulder was fitted with a movable shield that could be swung to the back, and it was equipped with spikes for melee combat. The MS-10 was said to be fitted with the improved Saturn engine, previously used on the MS-09R Rick Dom. Though whether this is true or merely propaganda is unknown, a number of new weapons were also added, including all of the existing Zaku weapons, as well as a new 135mm anti-ship rifle. However, despite these improvements, the suit was still prone to breaking apart from overexertion. So, armaments, it's got a Zaku machine gun, also a Zaku bazooka, a 90mm machine gun, anti-ship rifle. So, developed in the early phase of the One-Year War, the long-barreled anti-ship rifle was used by various models of Zeon mobile suits for long-range sniping attacks against Federation warships. It fires highly accurate solid rounds, which can heavily damage EFF's Salamis-class cruiser in firing position. The anti-ship rifle must be held by both MS manipulators to reduce its massive recoils. And then a heat hawk. So Zuda uses a heat hawk similar to the Zaku's. The shield, kind of a typical thing. Sturmfaust, very similar to some other Zeon. And a spike fixed to the front of the shield. So that was a cool shot. And I think I made sure I got that in the video where the shield had the spikes come out and he just drove it right into a GM. It's pretty awesome. Flare launcher, knuckle shield, and big gun. A mobile suit used sniping turret equipped with a powerful long-range beam cannon appears on a customized gunpla used by Jack in Gundam Build Divers Prologue. So that's really something that's not necessarily UC, right? Yeah. Oh, and it's what you see in Thunderbolt manga. So, but every time I'm seeing something about Build Divers, it's like I gotta watch that. It seems like I have to. All right, special equipment and features. So we got the Saturn engine equipped on the back, completed from the prototype Mercury engine through the practical prototype system Jupiter engine. Wide area propellant technology that uses heavy elements such as zinc and lead is used, and large thrust can be obtained compared to thrusters that use light elements. This allowed the Zuda to accelerate and decelerate at a speed of 200 meters a second in a short period of time, making it a machine that excels in shallow orbits and close quarters around the Earth. So that's the cool thing about this one, because it's supposed to be that it's like super fast, and that's kind of what led to its downfall. Let's see. Extendable forearms, so that's a pretty neat thing. It's an improvement over the EMS-04 prototype Zuda, so that is a major difference in my opinion with the EMS-10. Reconstructed arm parts with extendable forearms, which are hinged on respective shoulders. Its purpose is to retrieve weapons being mounted on calves, hardpoints. That's really cool, actually. The idea that suit really does seem like it was ahead of its time. Really, I wonder how different the war would have been if they were able to overcome that fault with the engine. And then the hard points for mounting things. Okay. And, a lot of history here. So in UC 0075, the MS-04 Zuda competed with the YMS 05A ZACU 1. So let's look at this. Is this really just the standard ZACU 1 we've all come to know and love? Early type. Very cool pick here, though. I love the real type markings and how this is like an old school drawing. For the role of Zeon's mainline mobile suit, the Zuda's performance overwhelmingly surpasses ZACU 1. However, during the official flight test, the Zuda disintegrated midair. In addition, its production cost was 1.8 times that of the ZACU 1, causing it to lose the competition. However, despite the incident, the Zuda's development was not officially halted in order to save the faces of the Zeon officials who backed the project. So in October of UC 0079, the EMS-04 was refitted into the EMS-10 Zuda. According to Zimad, the EMS-10 was equipped with their new Saturn engine, and the structure of the unit itself was overhauled, fixing its previous flaws. However, the true extent of the changes from the EMS-04, if any, was unknown. Well, I guess we found out about the arm extension, which is actually pretty cool. And I'm not going to jump into everything else because a lot of this is what is discussed in the MS IGLOO third episode. Really, it's good to just go watch that. You're going to get all this information there, or watch my video where I kind of recap it. But I think it's worth watching MS IGLOO for sure. Let's see. Any other cool things about it? Sometimes, action figures, always cool. It needs a robot spirit. So it certainly does. Yeah, I think that's it for that. So, well, cool. That was the Zuda. Glad to deep dive into that since I learned so much about it from MS IGLOO, and it seems to be a favorite in the Discord. A lot of people are talking about it. Let's see. Red Axis is saying the YMS is a production number designation for Zeon prototype mobile suits, by the way. Oh, thanks for that, Red Axis. So that is cool to know. And I know if you guys are familiar with, what's his name? Kakarot 197, I believe. He actually has a couple videos about suit designations and what it means. So I don't want to... So, like, that would be a good one to check out. I wouldn't mind covering that myself as well. But Kakarot's also a good resource for Gundam. Be sure to check him out. When Milpo Sclint shows up on screen, that is funny, man. These memes are coming in fast. So yeah, that's over on the Discord, so check that out. Thanks, James. All right, so yeah, I wanted to look at some comments. We're kind of nearing the end of the episode, but let's look at some comments here. Let's see. So this is from Will, who is the ace of GBO2. If there's anyone that's an ace at that game, it's certainly him. I actually just ordered the Gustav Karl off Facebook Marketplace. Actually, did I read that one already? Yeah, because this is that was 25. That was 26. Man, there's too many comments. That's right, the Gustav Karl. Will, if you already got it, you said you ordered it at Facebook Marketplace, you need to send some pictures on the Discord. Let's see here. Okay, we'll start it here at 26. This is Aaron Bachchar, I'm sorry, but F10380. Hoping that more obscure mobile suit gets attention in the future. You got it. Let me know what you think of me covering the Zuda is, and if you've got an idea maybe of some other obscure suits. Rogue New Type, another great video. Thank you very much. Oh, El Oster, I agree. Fun content. Well, very nice. Always very nice, El. Hyga Boy 22. Would you consider doing an Alma Steiner or Code Fairy backstory considering the role they played in the 1 Year War if they weren't the Xeon? Would they have been absolutely blitzed? Okay, so yes, in fact, I've already started my research on it. I already have a Google Doc with my notes in there. I've been doing some reading up onto it because when I finished the story, I thought it was pretty dang cool. And so I want to cover some of that stuff. So yeah, that'll be coming soon. Robert, good job on sniping that first place comment. Robert in the sniping. And then send it my way, Adam. I want to build that beast as my second official gunpla. Either that or repack it once you're done building it and then send it. Oh, with the GE stickers. Yeah, I got some Gundam Explain stickers when I send some things out sometimes. So, yeah, thanks for sharing those, Robert. Oh, and a meme of Gundam Cafe line. Yeah, and it's going to be closing. Yeah, but you know what? On Kakarot's new video, he was talking about how they're opening a new like Gundam park, and it has some different things. So that seems pretty cool. Adam, you disliked his comment. Yeah, I went back and saw that. Yeah, I guess when I was, I saw a comment I didn't like, and I hit the dislike. That's pretty cringy. Let's see. L again. I never even heard of that of MS IGLOO until I watched your channel. There's some pretty cool stories and details I never knew about, and machines I never even seen used during the UC Gundam conflict. Yeah, that is what is really cool about MS IGLOO. And some other like side stories of UC is you see the other technologies that's used, even the transition from a non-mobile suit world of battle to mobile suits. So yeah, definitely. Santo Bell, it's a shame about the articulation on the Haman figure. The motorcycle guy has anime accurate head options as well and just looks great. And you know what? And I don't know if I mentioned that on my last podcast. So I did a pre-order of the Rumble Raw and Hammond figure, and then separately the motorcycle guy. But I saw that there's actually a pack that then even comes with the table at the bar with some chairs or a chair. And I actually went with that just to be a completionist. But so if anyone is curious, there is a kind of a full pack that you can buy. Entry grade nude needs the high grade for the extra equipment, which is a bit of a bummer. That's right. So yeah, that's one thing about the entry grade is usually the limited accessories. As for pre-orders, I'm mostly waiting for the RG God Gundam. Yeah, that one looks good. Hey, Adam, not Canon Blue is back again. Oh yeah, there's something about Canon, I tell you. I learned I'm a Canon snob when it came to Star Wars, and a snob in a way where it's more internal, where I'm like, that's not canon, I'm disappointed. Or that happened, and that means this doesn't make sense, I'm disappointed. But it's really fun to talk about. As for Just Bought, I've got a haul en route at the moment. Live Land, Helios, Entry RX-78, Christmas colors, blue and red. Full Armor Gundam 7, Gremory, oh, the phone's going off. Sorry. Bunyip Boomerang. I never heard of that. Males Kenbu. Blazing Gundam. VF IJ Armored Valkyrie. Okay, let me look this up. I've heard of this. Isn't this from another anime where it looks like an actual jet and it transforms? No, I don't think I've seen. Oh yeah, it's kind of like this. I've seen this, but I've not seen that one. That stuff is sick. This is my type of thing. You know, I'm going to have to get into this. I've been watching, there's so much anime to watch out there, anime. But no, I'll have to get into this Macross, yeah. Which I guess was like Robotech in a way in the US or something like that. But Seed Remaster is shorter. Okay, this is when I was talking about watching Seed. So Seed Remaster is shorter and drops some context stuff, making the overall story easier to follow, but not the individual character growth, so some of the stuff feels out of the blue. I'd recommend the original, even with its filler episodes and its sometimes complicated plot. Okay, good to know. And then I was questioning how to use the chrome marker, the best way to do it. So chrome marker paint, I use the marker mostly on the cameras. I paint the wells recesses where the camera sticker normally goes, good idea, and then use either the clear plastic painted stain or spare clear runner parts to cut and fit the space. The chrome behind gives a much better look to the areas. On top of that, yes, pistons, exposed parts often washed or tinted afterwards, head-mounted machine gun barrels, and so on. On bigger kits, you can do this to eyes as well. Paint in chrome, seal it paint it black. Use a paint remover to polish the paint off the eyes. Only then use a thin paint or stain them desired color, and you get your super shiny eyes. That's actually a great idea. I think I'm at the point now where I can kind of go beyond my basic panel lining. So that's pretty cool. In fact, though, I don't really fully paint my gunpla kits like some people do. I wish I could get into that, where you usually put like a coat on it where it's like a solid color, and then you go through and paint. I think with my I had a high grade Victory 2, the Buster, I think it's called something like that, and all the yellow parts I actually just painted it gold for fun. I got spray paint. That's the most I've kind of done. Although actually I built that Darth Vader Bandai model kit, and all the silver on his chest, I purposely blocked off everything and used spray paint to get that. Because I'm a Star Wars fan. Darth Vader's awesome. There's the boy with a little face and a thumbs up, so thanks, man. Tsuyoshi 15, Gundam The Origin is a retelling of the Universal Century timeline, so it does not match up with the OG 0079 Gundam series, and the prequels are a part of the overall Gundam The Origin manga timeline, as the way it depicts the One-Year War is a bit different from the 1979 anime. For example, the Origin version, the Federation and Zeon developed their mobile suits differently and had that first mobile suit battle, which led to the development of the V Project. But in the original canon, depending on the various different sources, the Federation did not have any mobile suits at all. All they had were just regular craft warships, specially armored fighting vehicles, specifically tanks, to counter Zeon. The gun tank, gun cannon, and the Gundam were the Federation's first true mobile suits, at least in the original canon of the 1979 anime series, if you ignore the various media that showcase various prototype Federation mobile suits predating the V Project. So in a way, at least in the old canon, the moment between the Zaku 1 and the Zaku 2s in MS IGLOO is probably the first official instance of mobile suit versus mobile suit action of the war. But again, the original canon timeline is honestly a confusing mess. That seems to be the consensus, right? Jude Lacow, had a collection of Dom Tropins starting from space to Desert Dom. That was personal favorite unit. Yeah, the Dom is really awesome. Even the Robot Spirits, there's a lot of different Doms, ones that I'd like to get. And there is a Desert Dom that I'd like to get as well. So, yeah, very cool. Very cool fan of the Dom. Thanks, Jude. Santo Bell, great detail for only $10 dues. I like that. It's probably an Australian term, right? But yeah, that's that Luminous Gundam, $10. Just put some detail on it. Really fun little thing. Actually, I got him right here. I don't even have the light on him. It's just kind of cool to have it sitting there. Kasai Gundam, nice to see some Gundam merch in the West. Yeah. Crazy that's shown up in Target. Really, I just get into Gundam back in 2019, and then all of a sudden, Gundam products start showing up in Target. In the 90s, my mom picked up Char, Zaku 2, Ramba's Goof from Target. That's awesome. They still got Gundam merch. Yeah, and then so that's what's cool, because I do know now after the fact that back like in the 90s, even the 2000s, there was some Gundam merch that was released, and I just I was not even aware. In fact, I remember playing the game, and I brought this up before on Dreamcast, the side story. I think it was called 0079 Side Story or something like that. I didn't know that was a Gundam. I loved the game, though. I played through that and beat it, and I think I did it a number of times. It was just so fun. Now, I did try playing it again on a emulator, and it didn't seem to hold up, but at the time it was awesome. And then I even heard that was supposed to have sequels. And due to the cancellation of the Dreamcast, they canceled the sequels. So that's kind of sad. But thanks, Hell. All right, this is on the Super Gundam Impressions. This is 5 and 1. Man, why am I bad with names sometimes? Man, I can't find this anywhere new now. Going to have to go the eBay route, which is super expensive. I might go with the full armor version just to get the 178 with my Ka, Zeta, and ZZ. Good to know. The G-Denser doesn't look like great on him anyways. It's ridiculous how toy-like the previous iteration was. Yeah, in fact, I have my Ka Mark II set up, and the G-Defensor is just off to the side. The G-Defensor looks great by itself. I guess it's one of those things where if you attach the G-Defensor, don't plan on moving the guy around a lot. But really, how much are we playing with our Gundam? toys. You know, honestly, there's something where it's like I want to play with toys, but it's like as an adult, I don't know how anymore. I like lost that power. It's like playing a video game kind of fulfills that that fantasy, but with the plastic toys, it's hard. Although my youngest likes to play with toys, sometimes Fortnite toys and stuff, and so I jump in to kind of do that with him every once in a while, and sometimes I can only last 5 minutes. But yeah, I miss those times when I would just play with toys, you know. And that's another cool thing about gunpla. When you're building it, that's almost like a way of satisfying that need of fully embracing yourself into that design. And a lot of times when I'm done building a gunpla, I have a better understanding of that design. Anyway, so. All right, Tucker Moberg. I just started collecting gunpla, and I think it's really awesome. What are you doing, man? For me personally, I've been looking for a Sazabi, but have no idea where to find one. Well, that is cool. I'll keep that in mind. So that's on the giveaway video. If you win, man, I'll try to find you a Sazabi-related item. El Oster, I like how the Gundam has all its gear packed onto him. Looks like a soldier geared up and ready to rock. Oh, yeah, I didn't reply to this. But yeah, that's what I really love about the Origin. And I like about certain mobile suits in general, where you can like pack on gear to really make it look. It reminds me of G.I. Joes when I was younger. The G.I. Joes that would come with like backpacks and other like headgear and stuff. I always enjoyed that. Rubber Ducked. So there's a Hobby Lobby. Ended up getting the Revive Gundam instead. Good choice. Good choice. Thanks, Rubber Ducked. Zuda seems unsafe. I'd rather pilot a Zaku 2 fast mobility type for my speed. Yeah. Yeah, that's the thing with the Zuda. As awesome as it seems, it's like I'd hate to be... Even if you watch that MS IGLOO, I pointed out the scenes where the people were like screaming as they were dying in it. And so it's like, yeah. And Zaku 2, fast mobility type, or high mobility type, I think it's called. Maybe it's just awesome. The Zeonic Shadow. The problem with the Zuda was the limiters weren't strengthened. That's why it would go out of control and basically fall apart. But when the Zuda F came along... it was improved greatly, plus with the added parts from the Gaian, which is interesting. That's something I've just learned from the Discord. People were talking about the Zuda and the Gaian. Yeah, but later on in EMS 10F, those were corrected to a point thanks to the YMS 15 Gaian and what they took from there to correct it. So that's cool. That's even more. Yeah, thanks, Michael Spielman. That's even more information about the Gaian and the future engineering of the Zuda. Put on, not the first-person Gundam game I expected, but we're getting there. The most probable kind of accurate Gundam first-person game would be something like from COD or Battlefield, team or massive player matches, big free roam maps. Although if someone was dedicated enough, there could be a simulator type, something on the lines where a beam rifle could critically damage or destroy a mobile suit with one shot. Other than that, having multiplayer Gundam games in 2020 is going to be hype. Yeah, totally agree. And I said, so at least it's something. And while the Battle Operation 2 is fun, a cockpit view with larger scale battles is really what we need. It would be cool to have a cockpit view. As much as we want to look at our mobile suit, they could even have it where, you know, you have your screens up, and one of the screens might have your mobile suit so you can see where the damage is. But you can also, you know, look at your mobile suit and admire it. But yeah, I want something like that. Like even in the Japanese arcades, there seems to be a badass arcade game they have where it's like first-person cockpit. Robert, what's going on in Discord right now, guys? Oh yeah, Robert, he's in the chat. So nice to see you, Robert. Oh, and then congratulating someone on first comment. Ty Willis, first war, did you find the show? First, where did you find the show? Yeah, so 0080. When I first got into Gundam, it just happened to be on YouTube, so I watched it. That was really the only reason, and I loved it. I was like, oh my god. But then I bought it on Blu-ray. Google user 18 hours ago. While I love the anime, I like the novels a little bit better as it feels more realistic with elements too realistic for a kid's show that was already pretty dark, lol. And the new type content felt more grounded and impactful with an element of hope and resolution. Oddly, I felt the book's ending is more hopeful than 0079. Yeah, I haven't finished the book. And, you know, what I talked about in the video is at the beginning of it, how, yeah, it's really well done. Really well done book. Even though the idea that it's translated from Japanese to English, still the elements that it contained in terms of the the weaponry, the conflict, the characters, the motivations. It's really well done. I wonder if this new Gundam movie is going to take from that. That would be awesome. Oh, and Boy with Awesome Little One. So, thanks Boy. That was from the Ultimate Luminous Gundam, and I guess that does it for this episode of the Gundam Explained podcast. I hope you guys enjoyed that. It was the first live episode that I've done, and I think I like this because by having it live, when it's done, it's up, limited editing. I'll probably just make a thumbnail. Then I'll get the audio version uploaded everywhere that you would want to listen